1 John 4:1. Beloved, do not believe every spirit speaking through a self-proclaimed prophet. Instead, test the spirits to see whether they are from Yahuwah, because many false prophets and teachers have gone out into the world. Hebrews 5:14. But solid food is for the spiritually mature, whose senses are trained by practice to distinguish between what is morally good and what is evil. Philippians 1:9-10. And this I pray, that your love may abound more and more, displaying itself in greater depth, in real knowledge and in practical insight, so that you may learn to recognize and treasure what is excellent, identifying the best, and distinguishing moral differences, that you may be pure and blameless until the day of Yahusha, actually living lives that lead others away from sin. Hebrews 4:12. For the word of Yahuwah is living and active and full of power, making it operative, energizing, and effective. It is sharper than any two-edged sword, penetrating as far as the division of the soul and the spirit, the completeness of a person, and of both joints and marrow, the deepest parts of our nature, exposing and judging the very thoughts and intentions of the heart. Romans 12:2. And do not be conformed to this world any longer, with its superficial values and customs, but be transformed and progressively changed, as you mature spiritually, by the renewing of your mind, focusing on godly values and ethical attitudes, so that you may prove for yourselves what the will of Yahuwah is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect in His plan and purpose for you. 1 Kings 3:9. So give your servant an understanding mind and a hearing heart with which to judge your people, so that I may discern between good and evil. For who is able to judge and rule this great people of yours? 1 Corinthians 2:14. But the natural unbelieving man does not accept the things, the teachings and revelations of the Spirit of Yahuwah, for they are foolishness, absurd and illogical to him, and he is incapable of understanding them, because they are spiritually discerned and appreciated, and he is unqualified to judge spiritual matters. 2 Corinthians 11:13-15. For such men are counterfeit apostles, deceitful workers, masquerading as apostles of Yahusha. And no wonder, since Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. So it is no great surprise if his servants also masquerade as servants of righteousness, but their end will correspond with their deeds. Matthew 10:16. Listen carefully. I am sending you out like sheep among wolves. So be wise as serpents and innocent as doves, having no self-serving agenda. Colossians 2:8. See to it that no one takes you captive through philosophy and empty deception, pseudo-intellectual babble, according to the tradition and musings of mere men, following the elementary principles of this world, rather than following the truth, the teachings of Yahusha. 1 Timothy 6:3-5. If anyone teaches a different doctrine and does not agree with the sound words of Yahusha, and with the doctrine and teaching which is in agreement with godliness, personal integrity, and upright behavior, he is conceited and woefully ignorant, understanding nothing. He has a morbid interest in controversial questions and disputes about words. which produces envy, quarrels, verbal abuse, evil suspicions, and perpetual friction between men who are corrupted in mind and deprived of the truth, who think that godliness is a source of profit, a lucrative money-making business. Withdraw from them. Hosea 14:9. Whoever is spiritually wise, let him understand these things. Whoever is spiritually discerning and understanding, let him know them. For the ways of the Lord are right, and the righteous will walk in them, but transgressors will stumble and fall in them. Proverbs 2:1-5. My son, if you will receive my words and treasure my commandments within you, so that your ear is attentive to skillful and godly wisdom, and apply your heart to understanding, seeking it conscientiously and striving for it eagerly. Yes, if you cry out for insight and lift up your voice for understanding, if you seek skillful and godly wisdom as you would silver, and search for her as you would hidden treasures, then you will understand the reverent fear of Yahuwah, that is worshiping Him and regarding Him as truly awesome, and discover the knowledge of Yahuwah. 1 Timothy 4:1. But the Ruach HaKodesh explicitly and unmistakably declares that in later times some will turn away from the faith, paying attention instead to deceitful and seductive spirits and doctrines of demons,